Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'm going to be playing in the Rhino, a tier 10 Italian auto-reloading heavy. A vehicle which I think is absolutely fantastic, and about on level with the Kron, which I also think is fantastic. The reason why I'm making today's video is because Canavaro just kind of crept into my DMs and kept asking for me to make a video on it. He messaged me the other day, Droods, sup, I request a serious video. Prove people the Rhino is the best tier 10. I said, I feel like most people agree. Prove it to them. I'm sick of telling people it is because they're simply blind. And then he just continues asking me. I reply, whatever. Point being, Canavaro really wants to see some Rinocerante gameplay. Now, I'm not against this. I actually like the tank. I do think it's one of the best tier 10 heavies. I wouldn't say it is the best tier 10s. I think there are many vehicles which are rather strong in the current meta and can put pretty good competition against this tank. As I said, a great example is the Kron. I think the Kron, with its actually almost exact same DPM at 2,650, paired with the really good turret armor and capabilities, is just as good, if not better, than the Rhino. But this tank has some really good capabilities and strengths. First of all, it's an auto-reloader, and unlike the Kron, it does not matter which shell you shoot. You can shoot shell 1 or 2, and either way, you're going to be sitting at 2,600 damage per minute. Not only that, the Rhino has very good mobility, reaching a top speed of 42 kilometers per hour. It has good gun depression at 7 degrees, and a very strong turret. When you add all these things together, it does allow the Rhino to be a rather flexible tank, and flexibility, as I always say, is key. In fact, I do think the Rhino is almost a little bit too good. I personally believe that Wargaming should nerf the turret armor a little bit on the tank. I think everything else about the Rhino is fine. I just wish that it wasn't as hard to cut through when it's on a ridge line, and I do feel that the turret should be sitting at maybe about 10 millimeters less effective armor. That way, higher pen heat shells can at least somewhat cut through the tank. Now we can see that the enemy 57 Heavy is all the way on the other side of the map. We can actually see an enemy 100 right in front of us, and just going to wait for him to turn his turret there. There you go, nice easy shell into the 100, and boom! That right there is the double shot mechanic that allows the Rhino to be so dangerous. We just took what was a full health E100 and brought that player down about 700 HP. And we can see that it's not like your DPM's bad on this tank. You quickly reload and get more shells out, which is really nice and allows this tank to feel super enjoyable. So what we're going to do is we're going to move to the side of this chieftain. Oh, we got the 57 here. Well, we got one shell into the 57. He's going to poke me. I'm going to get a second shell into the 57. And then we're going to move into cover. I don't want to be hit by that player, and I'm not going to deal with that. So we're going to put our tank in a fairly safe position. We're going to drive up this ridgeline and get another easy shell into the 57. We are already up to 2,000 damage in this game, and it is a really good showcase of how flexible this vehicle is and why it's so enjoyable, right? Because, as I said, you don't lose DPM shooting on single shot or shooting it on reload, so there's no reason to worry about my DPM in this tank, and then we can just move over here. Oh, we got the 57. But what's great, as I said, you just don't have to worry about your DPM at all. So I can get another shell into the 100. Now, this E100 has a damaged loader, which means this player's effective DPM is like -2. Not something you want on your tier 10. There you go. Nice 525 into the E100. Still a dead loader, which means that this guy's reload is literally, like, awful. Absolutely tragic levels of DPM on this poor E100. So we're going to get another shell into him. I'm keeping an eye on this 57 Heavy. I obviously don't want to be clipped out by the 57. E100 shoots the E5. I'm going to move over here to the enemy 57. I'm hoping that I can get... Never mind. Bro is already dead. Well, what's going on here? We got the E100, and I'm just going to quickly turn for the E100 and get a nice 78 damage shell out. Okay. The M60 and the Waffenträger, and that's it. We're up to 3,800 damage. Pretty good game. Also, I just realized my camera was off a little bit. There you go. A little bit more. There you have it. That way, you guys can actually see me. Sorry if that was a little goofy looking, but yeah, let's head over here. Let's see if we can get a Shellerino. Boom. 356. And boom. 525. Thank you very much for the HP. You're dead. And a pretty good win. They even had, honestly, a stacked team. They had a Void player, and Void's, it's a little worse than it used to be, but Void's still usually decent. You're not going to expect Void players to be bad. I would expect that player to be like, I don't know, 60s. And they also had Reaction, who's a pretty solid player. 65%er and a 58%er. But somehow we won. I don't know what to say. That Chieftain shouldn't have gone alone, and honestly, the Waffenträger, in my opinion, is one of the worst tier 10s in the game, so yeah, what are you going to do in that tank? Either way, 4,700 damage in my first Rhino game, and it really is a great showcase of why this tank is so enjoyable to use. It's mobile, it has good DPM, and as we saw, the gun depression is great. The accuracy is also quite good. It's not like incredible levels of accuracy, I will say that. The tank does meh on its aiming sometimes. It derps a little bit, and its shell velocity isn't anything amazing, so it's not rare for your shells to dunk into the ground or something like that. But at the same time, it's also not rare to just get out some really, really enjoyable games like that first one you watched. If I were to rank the best tier 10 heavies, I would probably put the Rhino in top 5. I think the M6 Yo is in the top 5. The M6 Yo and the Rhino are pretty close. The difference is that the Rhino has a slower intra clip, and it has more... Well, actually, it doesn't even have more DPM, really. It's just that this is not a reloader. The M6 Yo has about 2,500 DPM. This tank has about 2,600 DPM. It's very similar. The major difference, as I said, is just the fact that the Yo features a auto loader, and this is an auto reloader, which is actually quite a substantial difference once you mess around with them. So we're going to move over here. I wish that my concept would give me a little bit more room. I don't know what he's doing, but he's getting in my way, which is a little annoying. Little annoying. Especially because, again, another Void player. Like, as I said, Void's usually pretty good, but I don't know why that concept took such an awkward route there, which kind of got in my way quite a bit. Let's see, is this mouse going to roll over here? It does. We're going to aim it on the mouse. Nice, 402 damage shell. And then we don't have a shell into the KPZ, but that's fine. We'll reload. We have the 183 over on the flank. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up just a little bit, and boop, there you go. 401 shell into the mouse. Boop, 309. Well, we've already dealt 1,100 damage. Again, a great example of the Rhino, and it's just really, really nice gun. So we have the IS-4. There you go. Nice 340 shell into the roof of his vehicle. IS-4 shoots, and the 183 absolutely destroyed that guy. I mean, the game's already over. Sometimes you just get games like this where it's over before it even began. We do get a nice shell into that Vickers. I'm more focused on getting a shell into that Vickers than I am the XM, because the XM's right in front of me, and this is damage that I will always be able to get, where the Vickers is damage that I won't always be able to get, if that makes sense. So we're gonna aim in one more shell onto this player. Here we go. Boom, 391. And then all that's left is an AFK 4005, and that's exactly what we're going to aim in on. I'm going to aim in... Oh, he's not AFK. He's also running Spalliner, so no point to fire a high explosive shell. I don't know why the enemy team wants to tunnel me so hard, but honestly, I really couldn't care. I mean, that guy's dead, and then all we need to do is turn over here and get an easy clear into the enemy XM66F. Even in this battle, which was a very quick one, I still guaranteed to top on the team. And, well, maybe not top, but I'm going to still bet that I did top on the team. And not only that, was able to deal 3,300 damage. I can tell you that the rest of my teammates, even the skilled ones, were struggling to get out 3k, as we can see. Doesn't matter if you're 70%, doesn't matter if you're 75%. It just doesn't make a difference. Also, I do not believe that you can reach 75% unless you're playing low-tier vehicles. What are your most played? I was going to say, bro, there's no way that you can reach 75% in tier 10. I mean, you can, but it's not really something that you expect to see on an account with X amount of games. Either way, the Rhino is an absolutely amazing vehicle. I love this tank. It's one of my favorite tier 10s in the game, and I agree with Canavaro on the fact that it's amazing. I mean, what else would you want from a heavy? It has mobility, it has DPM, it has accuracy, it has decent heat pen, as we can see, And when you add all of that together with the fact that the tank looks really nice and the line itself is fun to grind, unfortunately lines won't be in the game for too much longer, but it is a very fun vehicle. I have no complaints about it. And because of that, yeah, I mean, the Rhino, great tank. I don't know what else to say, so hopefully you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.